Hello again, back with this image of the bandstand on the promenade at Tenby. Now we looked before at working with the sky. We did our two layers, we looked at our blend modes and our opacity and all the rest of it. I'm not going to get rid of these. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold the shift key down and click on the layer below. So that highlights both layers. I'm now going to mouse down and I'm going to drag it down to this folder icon at the bottom here. Just release that and that's going to group things together. I'm going to rename this one sky. Hit the return button. Okay, we've got the sky organized and we're all set. If I turn that off, you can see that actually everything changes in the sky. Don't forget now, of course, we actually have it all in one place. You can change the opacity of the two levels together with that. So again, you've got more options to fine-tune your sky with this. But we're going to go back and we're going to look at layer one again, and we're really going to look in this canopy, because this canopy here is a bit dull. Very dull. I'm going to go across here and choose the quick selection tool. You see there your keyboard shortcut is W if you want to use your keyboard shortcut. I'm going to go inside here, and what I'm going to do is just turn this off first of all, because that's just going to increase the edge contrast on this, and I'm going to just drag this tool across the bottom edge here. You can see that it's just picking up on the upright as I go across. And I'm going to take that into there and then just waft across the top here. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key and that'll just change. You can just see there that just changes to a minus sign, and I'm going to mouse down on that. I'm just going to drag it up with the Shift key, the Alt key or Option key on a Mac held down, and just again on here. Let's just take that up there. I'm really only interested in the canopy at the top here. So we've done what we did last time, made a selection. Now we can do what I did last time, Control J, Command J, make a new layer out of this. What I want to do with this is to look at working with maybe an adjustment level, a non-destructive adjustment level. So I'm going to go straight in and click on the brightness contrast. Now you see this time I've got the sky switched off. I'm just working with the blue on the layer one. If I click on this, this will open up underneath the sky. The selection is immediately turned into a mask. I'm going to hold down the Alt or the Option key, click on that, and you can see there we've got a mask operating. That needs tidying up, so I can go in, choose some brush, black, 20%. Let's click 0. That'll give me 100% on there. I can come back in and I can clean up inside and just tidy that up there, so we know it's all black. Just have to Alt click, Option click, and that'll take that back out there. So just tied up that mask that we're going to use. I want to have a look inside here and just see what kind of tonality, what kind of lightness and contrast I can push into here without it all breaking out into noise. And if I take this up here, you can see there, this is a PSD file. There's all the information is still in there. I quite like that. I'm just going to ramp up the contrast as well. You see, once I start pulling the contrast in there, the colour becomes affected. Now look at that. If you just take that through there, it's driving it towards a very warm red. I remember this inside here, it's like a very old off-white painted bandstand, a bit of gloss white paint up the top there. So how can I get rid of that? Well, the first thing I can do is to look at my blend modes, and down the bottom here is luminosity. You can see there, it's just changing the luminosity inside the canopy of this bandstand. Let's go back in and have a quick look at that again. So in normal blend mode, we're driving it into the red. I don't want to do that. I just want to affect the luminosity of this. We'll just brighten it, not color it. So go into luminosity, and then I can just again have a look inside here. Just get a bit more crunchy, contrasty. Now we've got that all right. Let's just switch the sky back on again, and you can see here we're just we're building up. We're getting a nice, greater range of tones. Let's go and hold the Alt key down and look at layer one. If I hold the Alt or the Option key down, then click on layer one, you can see that's where we started from. And if I Alt Option click on there again, it looks like that. So it's looking good. I'm I'm also going to go back into my adjustments. I just want to add a bit more crunch in there, and I'm going to go back into curves. Now your curves icon, third one along, it's telling you on the top that it's curves. We just click on that. Let's take the sky out of the situation again. Because I'm working under the sky, it's not going to affect the sky at all. It's only going to affect the layers underneath. I'm going to put a lazy S curve in now. I'm just going to drive down the bottom end into a bit of slightly darker, and I'm going to push that top end up there. So it's really just increasing the contrast. You can see that. It's also affecting slightly down the bottom here. We can just mask that out. In fact, I'm going to mask that out in a minute. You can also tint things in here, and to go in to your different colours. If, say, I wanted to just warm this up a bit, I'd go into the mid-tone here, which is right in the middle. I'd just gently pull that down there, and you can see you have to be quite subtle really, because you're adding quite a lot of colour in there. And that's more like the colour I remember. Sometimes you've got to work on memory and try and remember what the scene looked like. That's how I remember the inside of the bandstand canopy looking like. We've got all this down the bottom here, which is being affected by the layers as well. I'm going to just use a paintbrush again. We're on 100%. I'm going to choose the mask, and let's just increase the size of this brush. So I'm using my square brackets, and really with black paint I'm just going to paint across the bottom. You can see there straight away it's bringing back the original colour. I'm not being subtle with this. You hopefully, I'm trying to be quick. You'd use something like 30–40%, and I'm just painting in there. As you can see there, if I alt click, option click on this, you can see where we painted the paint. A lot of spill going out. I'm using a very soft brush and a big brush, so I'm being quite sloppy and lazy, but just to give you an idea that we can actually take that effect out. Let's put the sky in now. And don't forget, with these two adjustment layers, we've got the flexibility to work our opacity. The same again, we've got this in luminosity blend mode. You can start fine-tuning. I'm going to leave those two at 100%. I'm going to call it a day now on this one, because I want to come back again and look at the foreground here. I want to make it a bit more shinier. Sorry about that. Add a bit of contrast, a bit of darkness. And while I'm here, I'm just going to take a bit of colour out of there on the left-hand side where the sea's got a bit green. Until the next time, of course, that's bye for now.